This happened about 6 years ago to me and 2 other friends. I was 14 at the time of this story and we were seeing the new Jumanji. This was my second time seeing it, but I was super excited because my mom had decided that I could finally start getting dropped off when I hung out with friends instead of her accompanying us. After she dropped us off, we went inside, got our tickets and snacks at the concessions, then went to decide where we wanted to sit. This was before there was the assigned seating, and you could just sit wherever you wanted. Of course, being teens and wanting to be on our own, we sat in the back so we would not interrupt the other movie watchers with our snickering and jokes. There weren't that many people there, maybe like 3 groups of kids and various other adults around them, but I did not pay much attention to them. We just wanted to be on our own. Soon after we were settled, the trailer started and that's when he walked in. I did not pay much attention to him, but I still noted that he was the last person to enter the theater. I can still remember exactly how he looked to this day. He must have been in his late 20s, maybe early 30s. He was Caucasian, had dark eyes, reddish brown hair, and short beard. He was wearing running shoes, jeans, a white baseball hat, and a jacket over a t-shirt. He did a quick scan of the theater, and he stopped with his head in our direction and started making his way up the steps. All the while he remained fixated on us. We were 1 row from the very back and he sat directly in front of us, right in front of my friend who was sat in the middle. This was the first more noticeable red flag. Soon after that the movie started. I immediately tried to focus in on the movie, but not long after it started, the man started twisting his hat so at times it faced forwards, then backwards on his head. That would not have been a problem if it wasn't for the fact that every time he adjusted his hat he would completely turn his head to stare at us, then smirk for a few seconds, then turn back. It continued on like this for almost the entirety of the first half of the movie. He would then giggle to himself quietly even if the movie was in no way comedic. The vibes were just so off on this guy, bordering on sinister. By then I had completely lost interest in the movie and remained focused on what he was doing. Soon enough he changed creep tactics, and every time the movie characters told a joke or said something remotely funny he would full-on belly laugh and turn around toward us while laughing and making direct eye contact with each of us. And after he got tired of that one he would stand straight up and rotate to face us, smile creepily, then sit back down. I was literally so tensed up that I had stopped eating my M&Ms, and now my friends had started exchanging uneasy glances with me, and I could tell that they were just as uncomfortable as I remember clearly my friend on my left grabbing my arm. The movie was getting closer to the end and whispering my name nervously with widened eyes. I replied with, "I know, I have been watching him." I had decided to start coming up with a plan. I already knew that the employees here were unreliable, so I decided to trust the only other thing I could think of without my mom there. Women. It was almost the end of the movie, and I turned and grabbed both my friends' arms and whispered to them as quietly as I could, "Guys, the moment the credits start I want y'all to run to the bathroom and I am going to call my mom to come in here and get us, okay?" They nodded, both looking as terrified and uneasy as I felt. About 5 minutes later the credits started, and the moment they did, we fucking bolted as quietly as we could. Of course, in my mind every horror movie scenario was playing in my head with me being the last to leave the row, so when I got to the bottom of the stairs I decided to do the dumbest thing I could have done. Go easy on me, I was young and stupid and scared. I stopped and turned around as my friends ran ahead of me to the bathrooms. The theater was empty now, except for him, in our row, crawling around and looking under the fucking seats. This felt like it lasted for a couple of minutes, but could not have been more than a couple of seconds. I was just petrified. I couldn't move at that moment, but believe me, I started moving again when his head popped up from the end of the row, and after a jerk motion scan of the room his eyes focused on me. I swear his eyes were so wide I could see the whites from all the way down there. That's when he got up and started running. And so did I. I bolted out of there, skidding on the slick carpet, and shot my way to the women's bathroom, which was 4 theater entrances ahead of me. I could see my friend peeking out the side of the entrance as I got closer. I noticed that my other friend was not accompanying her. After I could speak again and was semi-breathing normally, we headed deeper into the stalls and I shakily asked her where our friend went. She told me that instead of running into the bathroom, she shot off to the concessions where there are sometimes employees. This might have been my first option if I didn't know my theater well enough to know that it was a 50/50 chance for any employees to be there at that moment. We then calmed down a bit more, for we were now in the nosier and crowded bathrooms surrounded by other people and adults. After like 4 minutes, we decided to take a peek out of the entrance to see if he was there. And I kid you not, this motherfucker was pacing back and forth in front of the entrance with the most angry look on his face, staring directly at me when I poked my head out. I still don't know why I didn't tell any of the women around us what was happening. We finally called my mom, close to tears, and told her what was happening. She immediately left the store she was at to come pick us up as she could hear we were very upset. After waiting a minute more, we decides to take another look outside, and thank God he was gone. We saw our friend standing near the front of the theater next to an employee. Turns out she had just been standing by the worker and watching the man run in my direction, then pace in front of the bathroom, then finally leave. She never said anything to the worker, which I thought was stupid then, and thinking back it's even stupider. But we were dumb. We waited for my mom to get there around the employee, who never said anything to us and was probably confused as fuck. We finally saw her car pull up and raced out to it and told her to drive out of there quickly. After telling her what happened, she told us we were probably overreacting and he maybe thought we were cute and we were the ones who misunderstood the situation. Still kind of pissed at her for that. Very ignorant of a very knowledgeable and usually understanding woman, but maybe she was trying to comfort us. I don't know. All I know is that man did not have good intentions and we had every right to be as afraid as we were. Just thinking about it gives me the same goosebumps as I had in that theater. I know that if I saw him today, I would know exactly who he is. Stay safe. Always trust your instincts. Even if you think you're overreacting, they're usually right.